Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Have you ever felt so anxious, so overwhelmed? You finally find a strategy that seems to help. You feel calmer, more in control, and then just when you think that it's over, anxiety creeps back. You ask yourself, why does anxiety keep returning? So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through why anxiety often comes back and deliver three powerful evidence based strategies that you can begin using today to reduce its comeback rate. If you struggle with recurring anxiety, or if you have felt, I thought I healed this only to have it reappear, this video is for you. Before we dive in, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Tap the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos that help you build emotional strength and calm your mind and live with more ease. Alright, let's go to it. So, why anxiety returns? Let's talk about conceptual foundation, okay? You understand why anxiety returns. We need to see it not as a flaw or weakness, but as part of how the brain and nervous system work. Let me break it down in three more core mechanisms. Mechanism one is threat system sensitization, okay? Your brain threat detection network, amygdala, insula related circuits, can become hypervigilant. Over time, lower levels of uncertainty or ambiguity that would not bother others than trigger alarm in you. Even small, subtle cues, changes in tone, a glance, a thought can light that circuit up again. So, avoidance and safety behaviors are the mechanism number two. So each time anxiety arises, many of us respond with avoidance, escaping distraction or safety behaviors, reassurance, checking, over planning. These strategies suppress anxiety in the moment but block the brain from learning. Yes, this is okay. Okay, because you never allow full exposure to that discomfort, the anxiety signal remains unresolved. And mechanism number three is emotional memory context and misattribution. When anxiety is activated, the brain encodes the experience and forms association. This place, this thought, this trigger is danger. Okay? Later, the system may misattribute similar context or neutral cues as dangerous, reactivating anxiety. And this is the most, I could say, the environmental factors they play a major important role. Okay, in any disorder. Okay, the causes, if I would say that it's really hard. Okay, so the brain tends to overgeneralize the risk. If it happened there, maybe it can happen anywhere. So if you see any clue, any trigger, if anyone has said something to you, if there is anything that you have a thought arises or anything that makes you again anxious, okay, so there are so many triggering factors. Environment plays a major crucial role. People's words, how they react, how they treat you, that matters a lot. Okay, so before choosing any word for anyone, please think about it before using any word. Okay, but have a really great impact. So anxiety returns because your system is wired to protect you, and these mechanisms reinforce the cycle over time. But this doesn't condemn you. It gives us precise targets, exposure, relearning, resilience building, and that's what the rest of the video is about. Okay, let me share two stories. Okay, you are not alone, and you see how this plays out. Okay, and I would like to make it anonymized. Okay, in the high school, one of their clients, she began worrying about grades. The anxiety continued into college and work. And then she managed it with journaling and short meditations. For months, things improved, and then panic, heart racing, sweaty palms, out of nowhere while commuting. So she thought that I thought I healed this, but anxiety became a surprise visitor again. So yes, so relapses can occur. Okay. I also had a client, she had earlier experienced social anxiety, the flare ups. She did therapy, practiced exposure, small groups, but she felt she grew stronger. But over time, a small conflict with a friend or even walking past a social gathering triggered intense anticipatory anxiety. She felt stuck. She told me that it's as if nothing I do lasts. So in both cases, what you will see is that healing is not linear. The brain default is to protect, to err on the side of caution. But the good news is with intentional strategies, we can shift that baseline. If any part of the stories resonates, you have ever felt that did that work and crept back, that's valid. You are not failing, your system is responding. Let's now look at what you can do about it. So now, the first cornerstone is gradual exposure. Leaning into discomfort is structure and incremental way. Here's how you can do it. Make a fear hierarchy and exposure ladder. List anxiety triggers from mild to more intense. For example, mild at the thought of speaking up, and the medium, small group conversations, and high public speaking. Let's start with mild exposures that you can tolerate. If social anxiety is your issue, you might start by saying hello to one coworker or making eye contact with a stranger. Okay? Don't jump too far too fast. This can backfire. Okay? Repeat and sustain. Exposures until anxiety drops. Repeatedly stay in that uncomfortable zone until the fear response diminishes. Extend the exposures gradually. Increase duration, intensity, or novelty, the new context. Okay? The goal is your brain learns this is safe even if it feels uneasy. Over time, the threat network down regulates. Okay, so you can track your exposures, your rage, your anxiety from 0 to 10. What your downward trends. Okay, also do exposure with the mindset of curiosity. Ask yourself, what am I resisting? What sensations or thoughts appear? That awareness helps disarm the fear reaction. Okay. Strategy number 2 is emotional resilience and tolerance. The second pillar is building your capacity to sit with distress, uncertainty, and inner discomfort. Because anxiety often returns when we push away what feels intolerable. Okay? Here are concrete practices that I can tell you is mindful acceptance or make room technique. Notice anxious thoughts, emotions, body sensations, label them. There is anxiety in my chest, but without judgment, okay? Say something like this is anxiety and this is okay, it's here. And this stress tolerance, mini exercises is number 2. Like example, 5 breaths, focusing on physical sensations and doing a body scan when triggered. You can use grounding, touch, sight, sound to re-anchor. Example, feel your feet, notice 5 things you see and hear 3 sounds, etc. Okay? Uncertainty experiments. Deliberately choose small risks like delaying checking a message or picking a restaurant without deciding for hours. Okay, and the aim is to let your system learn that not knowing doesn't lead to catastrophe. Okay. Small cognitive reframing and diffusion from ACT and CBT. When you notice I will have a panic attack, you can reframe it. Like that's a thought. not a prophecy. Okay, practice distance. I am noticing I am having the thought I can cope. This separation reduces fusion. Okay, over weeks, these practices increases your threshold for discomfort. You'll find it harder for anxiety to break through. Okay, and the strategy number 3 is maintenance, self-care, and nervous system support. Even with exposure in resilience work, maintenance is key. The third pillar reinforces your baseline, so anxiety finds fewer cracks to sneak in. Okay, core domain to attend to are number one is sleep and circadian health. Aim for consistent sleep schedule, quality rest, avoid screens before bed. Number two is movement, exercise, and body regulation. Regular physical activity, even walking, helps regulate autonomic balance. Number three is breathing and wiggle tone exercises. Slow diaphragmatic breathing, like 4 to 6 seconds in and 6 to 8 seconds out. I would say 1, 2, 3, 4. Like breathe in, then hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So breathe out. Okay, so alternate is nostril breathing, rhythmic breathing, or resonant frequency breathing, and then mindfulness, meditation, and daily grounding. Even 5 to 10 minutes daily can shift a baseline. Okay, I'll upload those videos too, so you can stay connected with me. Even if you wanna need therapy or any sort of thing, just write down that to me. I'll be definitely available for you. Don't you're not alone, okay? So if you need therapy, if you need sessions, if you need me, I'm always available for you. Being a consultant clinical psychologist is my responsibility, okay? So stay positive. Then we have social connection and support. Talk with a trusted friend, share fears, and allow vulnerability. Um, Always find trusted friends. Do not share your feelings with random people, okay? Just find trusted friend and those people who are really non-judgmental, okay? Then nutrition and hydration and limiting stimulants. Avoid excessive caffeine, sugar spikes, dehydration. This can aggravate anxiety. Okay? Schedule check-in and self-monitoring. Weekly reflection. Uh, what's going well? What triggered you? What support do you need? When you have built resilience and bolstered your system, occasional anxiety becomes more manageable. Okay, now let's address some common stumbling blocks when to escalate help. And pitfall number one is pushing too fast, doing exposures too aggressively. If you take steps that are too big, you may re-traumatize or reinforce avoidance. Always calibrate exposure difficulty. Okay. Number two is skipping maintenance when doing better. Okay. When anxiety drops, many stop doing practices. That's when old circuits re-emerge. Before number three is self-judgment shame when anxiety returns. When anxiety returns, the inner circuit may say you failed. Recognize that recurring anxiety is common, not a personal flaw. Okay? And when to seek help. Panic attacks that are unmanageable, suicidal thoughts, functional impairment, work relationships, in those cases do not rely solely on self-help. A therapist, psychiatrist, or crisis support may be necessary. This video is for empowerment, not a replacement for clinical care. Okay, so you can reach out to me anytime. What to do and when you feel stuck. Pause and reflect on which pillar is weak: exposure, resilience, and maintenance. Consult trusted support or clinician for guidance. Consider booster therapy sessions for revisiting old exposures. Putting it together. Now, how do you weave all three strategies into a coherent routine? Here are 4-week roadmap that you can adapt. Now, week number 1 is build your fear hierarchy, 5 to 10 items. Start a mild exposure. Begin a 5-minute daily practice, mindfulness or breathing. Track sleep, movement, and triggers. That is week number 1. Week number 2 is increase exposure. Okay, next one. Distress tolerance and acceptance practices that I have shared. Then continue daily maintenance, sleep, breathing, and social connection. Okay. Week number 3. Move exposures into new contexts, novel situations. Deepen emotional tolerance, experiments uncertainty. And then monitor nutrition, caffeine, and rest. Week number 4 and beyond is sustain exposures at more challenging levels. Strengthen baseline via maintenance practices. Reflect weekly, wins, challenges, and adjustments. The aim is not no anxiety ever, but less frequent, shorter, less intense returns. You can reclaim more control over your life experience. As you go, I encourage you to journal your process, note progress, even small should count, and be kind to yourself. Growth is gradual, okay? If your anxiety has been relentless, no, you don't have to resign yourself to that cycle. With consistent work, compassion, and strategy, you can weaken its hold. If you found something helpful in this video, please hit like and subscribe and share it with someone you care about who might benefit. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me which of these 3 strategies, exposure, tolerance, and maintenance, you will start first, or what's held you back in the past. I have read every comment and I tend to make follow-up videos, respond to your questions. Thank you for watching. Be patient with yourself. You deserve steadiness, peace, and freedom from persistent anxiety. Take care and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.